Wait, you buying this?
Okay, we're going to call to order the April 14th council meeting. Madam Clerk?
Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Councilman Asbill.
Present.
Councilman Buddy.
Present.
Councilman Chatelain.
Present.
Councilman Johnston.
Present.
Councilman Wheeler.
Present.
Mayor Bodier.
Present.
Police Chief Walker.
Here.
Fire Chief St. Cyr is absent. Finance Director Todd Turnion.
Present.
City Attorney Scott Stansberry. Myself, Municipal Clerk, present, Carrie Houston.
Mr. Mayor, move to add from the floor proposed ordinance 2022-6, which is an ordinance approving final re-subdivision of a piece of the colonial property for first readings.
Okay, so we have a motion by Councilman Asbill to move ordinance 2022-6, you said, from the
correct.
floor. We're now open for public hearing. Anyone who wants to speak forth, against, or for? No one coming forth. We'll now close public hearing. Can I have a second?
Second.
Wait, can we
Second.
comment?
Oh, you can, yeah.
Yeah. Where's the sewage gonna go?
This is just
This is
first
to
read.
add it for first reading.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
I couldn't answer that question, to be honest with you.
Well,
But it-
the ordinance, proposed ordinance indicates it's gonna go to sewerage available on Forte Lane. And
Okay.
so, okay. I'm not, and I don't think there is any sewage on Forte Lane.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor, the amended agenda by Councilman Asbill. We have a second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Agenda is amended.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to the agenda, adding on the new business, the advisement of the Civil Service Board for the police. New representative is Sergeant David Darwin, won the election yesterday. So,
I would say we have a motion by Councilman Johnson. We'll now open for public hearing. No one coming to speak forth. We'll now close public hearing to nominate David Darwin as a police representative to the Civil Service Board. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. It is now added to the agenda.
This mine or yours?
All right, for us, mayor's announcements tonight, we're going to try to keep it brief. We, of course, want to wish everybody a happy Easter. We are really working hard on some sewer project with DEQ right now, and we're working with State Senator Mike Reese and State Representative Jerome Zarang, who are the two chairs of a joint committee under the water sector program, and we're working really hard with them at the moment, trying to get our score up in order to be qualifying for this $4 million loan to rehab the plant. But as of right now, it's kind of really the only thing that we have on the agenda. It's taking all my focus, time, and attention because it's really important. And other than that, and if anybody wants to reach out and talk to me about it, they're more than welcome to call me on my cell anytime, 504-343-7762. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Special presentations. Chief Walker and the current state of Harahan Police Department.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, viewing public. Tim Walker, Harahan Police Chief. We're extremely pleased to announce that, again, the city of Harahan has been named as one of the safest cities in Louisiana. Again, we're named the #1 safest city for 2022. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank the members of the Harahan Police Department for doing an excellent work in keeping the city safe. Also, I want to thank the citizens of Harahan. You know, I normally, when I get up here, I say, see something, say something. It's very, very crucial that you call us when you see something suspicious. That assists us in keeping the city safe. Dial 911, we work off the Jefferson Parish dispatch system. So if you see something, say something. So, you know, during the last 7 years I've been your police chief, we've always been in the top 2 as being one of the safest cities in the city. Also, coming up on April the 30th, Saturday from 10 to 2, we're having a drug take-back program again at the lobby at a police station. And also Walgreens at 8200 block of Jefferson Highway from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Bring all your unwanted medications and drugs to be disposed of.
Chief, what day was that?
I'm sorry?
What day?
April the 30th. It's a Saturday.
Thank you.
Last Saturday of the month. Also this morning, injured alligator was captured on Riverside Drive between West Imperial and Ray-Van. Proper authorities picked the alligator up and took him off. And also have a safe and happy Easter.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Approval of minutes. Reading of the minutes of the council meeting on March 17th, 2022.
Okay, do I have a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson will now open the public hearing. No one coming to speak forth will now close public hearing. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Chatterley. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Reading of the minutes has been dispensed.
Approval of the minutes of the council meeting on March 17th, 2022.
Can I have a motion to approve those minutes? Motion by Councilman Asbiel. Will now open for public hearing. We'll now open for public hearing. No one coming to speak forth. We'll now close public hearing. Can I have a second to approve those minutes? Second by Councilman Asbiel. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Those minutes are approved, Madam Clerk.
Communications. Reading of the minutes of the planning and zoning meeting on March 9th, 2022.
Do I have a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes? Motion by Councilman Asbiel. Will now open for public hearing. No one coming to speak forth. We'll now close public hearing. Can I have a second to dispense with the reading of the minutes?
Second.
Second by Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Minutes of reading has been dispensed. Madam Clerk.
Approval of the minutes of the planning and zoning meeting on March 9th, 2022.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve those minutes?
Moved.
Motion by Councilman Asbiel. Will now open for public hearing. No one coming to speak forth. We'll now close public hearing. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Chatterley to approve those minutes. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Those minutes are approved. Madam Clerk.
Resolutions. Proposed resolution number 2022-1. The following resolution was proposed by Councilman Chatelain, a resolution of the Harahan City Council authorizing the mayor to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement with No Limits Play Incorporated for the benefit of erecting a new play set on city property.
Okay. Go ahead.
As the sponsor of this resolution right here, I'd like to withdraw this resolution. Yeah.
Okay, Councilman Chatelain is withdrawing proposed resolution 2022-1. Withdrawn. Madam Clerk.
Do you still want to open for public hearing, just in case?
Do we still have to open for public hearing, Scott, even though it's withdrawn?
Can't hurt.
All right, we'll open for public hearing for proposed resolution 2022-1. Anyone come to speak forth? No one coming to close. We'll now close public hearing. All right, proposed resolution 2022-1 has been withdrawn. Madam Clerk.
Proposed resolution number 2022-2. The following resolution was offered unanimously by the council. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Harahan adopting the 2021 Louisiana Compliance Questionnaire.
Okay, we're now open for public hearing. Anyone want to speak on proposed resolution 2022-2? No one coming forth. We'll now close public hearing for 2022-2. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution is passed. Madam Clerk.
Proposed resolution 2022-3. The following resolution was offered by Councilman Asbill. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Harahan authorizing the mayor to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement with Stranded South LLC to host Harahan Music Festival at Zerang Park.
Okay, we'll now open public hearing for proposed resolution number 2022-3, cooperative endeavor agreement with Stranded South LLC.
Hi, council members and Mayor Bodier. Thank you again for considering to grant me this permit for this event. We had a successful event, safe. Thank you very much to the Harahan Police Department for their logistical support last year, and we're trying to build on the success of that event from last year with higher fundraising goals for the St. Rita Food Pantry, higher attendance, bigger and more popular artists to bring the festival more into maturity with artists like Amanda Shaw, the World War II Museums, the Victory Bells, and some artists that played last year like soul singer from New Orleans, Andre Lovett, and some other things in store.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you might want to stay up
Yeah.
for a minute. You might want to stay up. We want to have some
All
questions.
right, go ahead. I'll let y'all go.
So I've offered this resolution. This is the same resolution that was offered in its original form last year. I know we made some edits to it, and I didn't want to tie anybody into those edits this year, so I just made the same. I made the same offer of resolution, with the amendments that we made as far as insurance and all that good stuff. Again, the idea is Harahan Music Festival on May 21st at Zerang Park. You've seen kind of the lineup that he's talked about here in his proposal. And so I'll take any questions. I'm sure Serge will take any questions if y'all have any.
So I'm prepared for this, and I mean, I think it's great. I think we need to go after sponsors. I can't see spending $2,500 of city fund to move forward with this. I'd like to amend that and remove that payment from the city. I'm willing to contribute $250 personally. I believe that's something similar to what we did last year.
Right, last time we took it all and we split it between everybody up here, right?
Yeah, so I
Kind of
mean, I
along with Chief,
believe,
yeah.
I don't want someone to say we spending city funds
Sure.
for this event. So I'd like to remove paragraph 2.0 with a payment of $2,500.
I'll second that.
All right, so we have a motion by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Johnston.
Wait, may I comment on the?
Go ahead.
So there has to be some consideration for the event. So last year what we did, we didn't remove the entire section. We took out the payment part of the section, not the whole payment section. But basically, we took out the part of, in consideration, we took, city agrees to pay, to contribute $2,500 for event expenses.
Okay, we could
Jason, might I
we could just
suggest we
remove the
just-
zeros.
We just contribute the use of the property.
Right, but there has to be some consideration that we get back from it. So that's the, so that it should read, in consideration of the services described above, organization hereby agrees to list city as a sponsor for the event. And that is the consideration the city gets back for loaning the property.
Loaning the property.
Right.
I just want to make sure, that's why I
Yeah.
asked him not to
Yeah.
leave. I just want to make sure he's fine with us removing that, and he doesn't have a disagreement.
No.
So I also had a same comment, and I like the way that was maybe resolved, but while we're discussing this before we vote on anything, there's no insurance in here.
I was insured last year.
Right,
So,
but there's none in here now.
no, I think there
You
is.
removed it,
No, there's
No,
insurance.
it's paragraph 8.
Paragraph
I
8.
think, but I think it says
Just
for
care
workers'
and
comp,
maintain.
but nothing for general liability. There's no general liability insurance. So, I mean, you don't have any employees, or do you? You have paid employees? You have
No.
workers' comp?
No, I'm paying the artists. No,
Right.
no workers' compensation.
Your artists are contract.
Contract, yes.
Right.
So,
So workers' comp,
I don't have any employees, though.
so what we don't have is a general
But
liability
on
policy.
subparagraph B, underneath section 8,
Yeah, that,
city shall be named as additional insured as regards to general liability.
there's a second B, there's some problem with the numbering, I guess. So it would be 1B, 1A, B, C, D, and E.
Oh, I see.
And 2A, B,
It's the first B under section
C, D, and
A.
E.
right,
Section
but do
A
you
goes
have
to
a
B as
general
well.
liability policy?
I will have that
Or
coverage,
also it's in
yes.
B too. It's
Gerard
in-
Insurance.
Do you know the limit of the
General
coverage?
liability insurance.
I met the requirements last year that were given to me, I believe, by the council, and I'm ready to meet those limits again.
Mr. Buddy, if you look at the second B, it says that the commercial general liability insurance will be provided
million.
before an agreement is executed.
Thank you.
So
it's
you'll just
listed in
have an
both of
event
them.
policy.
What's that?
Policy for that event.
Yeah, that's all
Yes,
you need.
for that
Right.
time period, which will be noon to about 6:30, longer than last year.
Now, getting back to the payment thing, last year, or the last time we did it, did we completely take out the payment line, or did we reword it to where the council would put up, or?
No, we just made a commitment on,
We just
Yeah.
made a commitment personally,
Yeah,
not
personally.
in the resolution?
Right, because if you
Okay.
take the 25, and I know Chief participated, it was the 6 of us, it's
Correct.
about 358 a person,
Right.
but I think we did about 250, so that would give 1750.
And that would
your
be extremely
25. I mean,
appreciated.
I'd be willing to put up 250.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's what we did last year.
Chief, would you be willing?
yep.
Councilman, Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
Eric?
Good.
Okay, so there's your 1750. You just need to let us know. That's it.
You just hustled
Yeah,
us.
that's it. There you go.
Well, thank you very much. And I would like to add that I've had little to no contact with you, Councilman Wheeler, and you, Councilman Johnson, but I very much appreciate your help last year and this year as well. Thank you.
problem.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You just need to let us know who to make it payable to and where to send the check to.
Stranded. Oh.
It's Stranded South.
I got it. I got it.
going to Stranded South?
Cash,
it.
cash me.
Cash.
One other
Paragraph
question.
11.
Are you, by any chance, a 501c3 corporation? Okay. If,
of course, is, and so all of those
Well, it just makes a difference if anybody's itemizing contributions.
Right, I'm making it well known that I am not a nonprofit.
Yeah,
If we do accept, if we accept goods for the food
Okay.
bank, and a gift card for the food bank, so I'm making those details well known.
thank you.
So there we got
All right, so-
a motion and a second on the payment issue.
Yeah, so can we withdraw the original amendment? Whoever made that?
The original amendment was Eric, I seconded it, yeah.
All right,
Okay, so, yeah.
So you want to withdraw removing paragraph 2?
Right.
yes. And so the amendment would be to remove the word, from paragraph 2, remove the word "city agrees to contribute $2,500 for event expenses and."
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor by Councilman Asbill to amend the resolution as stated, second by Councilman Wheeler. Will now open for public hearing. No one coming to speak forth. Will now close public hearing. All in favor to the proposed resolution the amendment on the proposed resolution 2022-3, all in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. It is amended. All right, now we'll
Move
talk
to
about.
adopt as amended.
All right, now we're going to adopt as amended for proposed resolution 2022-3. We'll now open for public hearing. No one coming to speak forth. We'll now close public hearing. All in favor to adopt 2022-3, all in
Yay.
favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. It is adopted. I'm really looking forward to the event. It was fun last year. We just need to work a little harder and getting some more people, getting the word out there, and let us know, because we'll work for you.
Chief, are y'all prepared? You've been in contact with Brian?
Yes, sir.
So are we going to be able to eliminate a little bit of the police officers?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to save them money on the details and maybe get some reserves to help out or whatever. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Madam Clerk?
Proposed resolution number 2022-4. The following resolution was offered unanimously by the council. The resolution adopting the 2022 millage rate, where the total tax is 21.93.
Okay, proposed resolution -2022-4 is now open for public hearing. Anyone going to speak forth? No one coming. We'll now close public hearing. Council discussion?
No, it's good.
Todd, is this the same millage that we're rolling last year's millage forward? Same, and,
With Maxim.
yes, thank you. And do we know what the increase, does anybody know what the increase in assessed values was? Was it 5%, 2%?
Couldn't tell you.
I
Just
don't
curious.
know.
Just
but
curious.
We can get that information for you.
Thank you. That's all my questions.
Second.
So we have a motion on the floor by Councilman Wheeler, second by Councilman Asbill to adopt proposed resolution -2022-4. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution is adopted. Madam Clerk?
Proposed resolution 2022-5. The following resolution was proposed by Councilman Asbill. A resolution providing for canvassing the returns and declaring the results of the special election held in the city of Harahan, state of Louisiana on Saturday, March 26, 2022, to authorize the levy of a sales and use tax therein.
Okay, so we're now open for public hearing for proposed resolution 2022-5. Anyone coming to speak? No one coming to speak. We'll now close public hearing on 2022-5. Council discussion?
Yes, so we got an email here from Jason Akers, who's the elections attorney over at Fuller Judell. When we advertised the election, we advertised it as canvassing the results of April 21st. Well, since we moved the meeting up, he suggested that we go ahead and defer this until next month, so that we don't get in any troubles there.
sense. Yes, sir.
And it won't hurt the timeline on collection or the other stuff, so.
Might I suggest we consider just convening a special meeting for 4 minutes and doing it on the 21st, just to be sure?
Well, we've already posted notice on the door that says it's going to be considered on May 21st instead, so I would say.
All right.
Probably best not
That's
to.
fine. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that consideration. A move to defer.
We have a motion by Councilman Asbill to defer. Second by Councilman Wheeler. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Proposed resolution 2022-5 is deferred to May 21st. Madam Clerk?
Before we move on, could I ask a question? Is it everybody's understanding that the sales tax can be used for capital expenditures as well as ordinary expenses?
That is my understanding.
My
yes.
understanding for fire department only.
Yeah, well, yeah, fire department only. Scott, do you concur with that wording on the 2022-5 proposition sales tax description?
It's the last line there of the,
Yeah, I think it
Proposition.
does, but
that's everything.
it's, here you go, Scott.
I'll look at it. It's set for the next week.
Yeah. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, ordinances for approval.
Just as, thanks, as which.
Ordinances for approval. Proposed ordinance number 2022-1. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Asbill and seconded by Councilman Chatelain. An ordinance amending ordinance number 1925, the annual budget of revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022, for the Capital Project Fund of the City of Harahan, Louisiana, Fire Department Vehicle Capital Expense.
Okay, we're now open for public hearing for proposed ordinance number 2022-1. No one coming to speak forth, will close. Council discussion?
Chief St. Cyr could not be here tonight to discuss this. He had some things.
So,
Anything?
So I'll move to defer.
well, my comment is that these funds can be expended utilizing the new sales tax. They don't have to come out of the city's capital fund. This is what the sales tax was intended for. So I'm not opposed to passing this in some form, but I'd like to make it clear that the source of proceeds is the future sales tax collection. And I'm not sure how to accomplish that, but when we've got a month to figure it out, right?
Right.
All right, so proposed ordinance number 2022-1. There is a motion on the floor by Councilman Asbill to defer. Can I have a second? Second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Motion is deferred. Madam Clerk?
Proposed ordinance number 2022-2. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Asbill and seconded by Councilman Chatelain. An ordinance approving the rezoning of Lot 1, Shiro Park subdivision, City of Harahan, Parish of Jefferson, State of Louisiana, as per a plan made by Mandel Surveying Incorporated, dated July 14th, 1986.
Okay, we're now open for public hearing for anyone wanting to speak on proposed ordinance number 2022-2. Public hearing is now open. No one coming to speak forth. We'll now close public hearing. Council discussion?
I'll say that you've got the vote there, that the planning and zoning did recommend rezoning on a 5-to-1 basis with 2 absent.
Do we have any input from adjoining neighbors?
There was one gentleman there that was, who lives in a residence next to him. And he came just to ask questions, and by the end of the night, planning and zoning asked him, he said that he has no problem with the use that was explained by Mr. McCarron and Clock Properties. And then the neighbor on the other side of it was an empty lot, and I'm pretty sure Mr. McCarron talked to him, and
Yeah, I spoke with them today, too.
So I spoke with them also. They have one concern about parking. Basically, when they come in, the regulatory department, regulatory is gonna determine the usage, you know, what they're gonna do, how many parking spots they're gonna need, and they'll make that determination at that time.
Do you have, Danny, I'm sorry, if you could just, do you have a plan, or are you just buying it and you're gonna develop a plan? Can you
Sure.
share with us what your plan is?
Yeah, absolutely. Danny McCarron. I don't know the address of that. Jefferson Highway, whatever the address is. 2735.
And Carolyn?
So I've had this property for a while. I actually used it as an office 8 years ago. It was when I first bought it. And then when I moved my office over to River Road, I have just used it as a rental. And I recently put it up for rent. When I had it up for rent, I actually had a few people contact, but the accounting firm had some interest, could it be utilized? And my answer was, I don't know. And especially given my other exposure in the city, if he would have just, you know, I'm sure you can crunch a few numbers in the back room, but if you're asking me if it can be an accounting firm, I don't know. So that sort of prompted this idea of let me explore, could it be? And so I don't have any per se plans to do anything different there. Let me state clearly, I have no plans to do anything different there. The building is what it is. Matter of fact, the tenants that are in there, they'll remain in there. However, when it comes up again for rent, I would simply list it for sale or rent, but with its proper zoning. It can be C1, it can be R1. So I don't have any intention to do anything different there than what is currently there. And since I'm standing up here, the only thing I'll add to it is, you know, I think if you look at the entrance of Jefferson, if you're coming on Jefferson Highway back to Orleans Parish, and we're driving down Jefferson Highway on the right side, which this property is, I think there's something like 30 commercial parcels, only 3 of which are residential, this being one of them. And this one does not have access to either of those 2 streets. So it truly just fronts Colonial. So somewhere in there I felt, sorry, Jefferson Highway. So somewhere in there, okay, yeah, maybe this should be commercial. So that's what, and I did. I spoke to, I called Chris Ray originally, who is the neighbor to the left. I tried to contact the neighbor on the right, just old knocking a couple times, couldn't get a hold of him. He did show up, as Councilman Aspel said, he showed up at the last meeting, and yeah, I think I answered the questions he had, and he seemed favorable, so, yeah.
So is this property on the riverside or lakeside?
Lakeside,
Lakeside.
yes, sir.
Okay. I think I know the
You have those
intersection.
3 houses, it's the one right in the middle,
Yep.
Yeah.
in between Carolyn and Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Are you done? All right. Tom, you good, Tom?
Yeah, I'm done.
Mr.
Thank you.
Councilman,
Thank you,
Alpha?
Danny.
Okay, so we'll now close public hearing. We have proposed ordinance number 2022-2 on the floor.
Move to approve.
Move to approve by Councilman Asbill.
Second.
Can I have a second by Councilman Wheeler? All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. You are approved. Thank you, Mr. McCarron. Madam Clerk.
Proposed ordinance number 2022-3. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Chatelain and seconded by Councilman,
Before we move on there, personal privilege, can we recognize Treasurer Schroeder and Senator Kirk Talbot for a few minutes to speak if they like?
Yes.
Gentlemen, you like to
Yeah.
speak?
Look, they love throwing me under the bus, so it's y'all's turn.
We'll let you Senator go first.
Yes.
I'm just a little further.
Just before you begin, y'all, we have such a treasure in State Senator Talbot. He has been by my side for the past 2 weeks and helping me get through a program that we so desperately need to overhaul our sewer plant. And y'all, he is, I mean, I can't tell you, he is a friend to the city of Harahan. He is a gift to this city, and I'm so proud to work with you every day. It gets me teared up just because I know that you're in this fight with me. And man, I'm so happy to go there and stand in the Capitol with you and work.
Well, thank you. And look, y'all work it, and that's how you get into these grants and get into this water sector money. I mean, y'all are up there every Tuesday with the rest of the Jefferson delegation for the delegation lunch. So y'all are putting in the work that's going to pay off, and we're going to make sure it does. But we only got, I think, session ends early June. Things are going smoothly. I know y'all have gotten all your applications in for capital outlay, so all of that is set. We're working on a number of bills, several that are holding insurance companies accountable, like dealing with adjusters, how many adjusters you can have in a 3-month period, and things like that, and trying to attract more companies to come here. We had another company, Lighthouse, that failed, and that's pulling out of Louisiana. So it's a tough market right now, as you can imagine, with 4 hurricanes in 2 years. But Jim Donlan's had us in good shape, and we're going to weather the storm, and we're going to be all right. We're doing everything we can to hold them accountable and attract more insurance companies to come here, because the only way we're going to have lower rates is if we have competition.
Right.
So I'd be happy to to answer any questions if anybody has any.
I got to speak with Insurance Commissioner Jim Donlan and you yourself, of course. And this is the thing that I'd like to tell the citizens of Harahan: when you come out and you get an assessment of your damage, you do not have to accept that.
That's right.
You just continue to press on, and you
Well, the
list your
first
damage.
check, that's the key. If you get an offer, that is not the end-all, be-all
That's
check.
right.
Take the check and make a supplemental claim if something
That's
comes
right.
up later. But when we had our town hall meeting at the Yenny Building, that was one of the biggest misconceptions.
That's
was
right.
that, well, I don't want to take this check because, I think I have more damage than this. That's
Right.
totally fine
Right.
to do that. Take the check, start
That's right.
getting things back together, and make a supplemental claim. You can make as many supplemental claims as
That's
you
right.
want to.
That's right. do not accept it, be persistent.
Right.
I mean, I continue to
Right.
submit, and I tell everybody, well, they gave me an under, what do they call it, an
Undervalued or.
yeah, undervalued
yeah.
assessment. I'm like, nah, you don't have to accept that. And you just get in and you work with good subs, which is really, really important.
Right.
Document. Jesus, you cannot take enough pictures.
Right.
And you just pound them with pictures. And sometimes even, a lot of people up here go, well, I keep getting adjusters over and over. And I got to tell you, sometimes that's not a bad thing.
Sometimes it's not, you might have the first adjuster come out to just kind of get a lay of the land, but you might have a unique problem where you had water come through the second story that molded everything on the first floor. You might have had tree damage. You might have had wind blow shingles off or debris break through windows and cause damage. So, but the frustrating thing is, and I have a bill to address it, where, after a certain amount of adjusters, I think it's 3 in a 6-month period, they've got to give you one person of contact.
Right.
I don't really care how many adjusters I have, but I don't want to start over with a new adjuster and have to tell the entire story over again
Right.
and go through all that rigmarole. So, and that bill is sailing through, and that's a bill that Jim Donaldson asked me to file. So things like that are going good. Lori Slagle, who we just saw at an event, state rep from Old Metairie, has a bill dealing with additional living expenses when they don't declare an evacuation like we had that issue with, and Jim Donaldson made an executive order to make them pay it. We're going to put that into law. So we've got some good things going.
And we do got 3 incredible state reps, and Lori Schlegel, that's in our area right here. John Ilg,
Right.
of course, is our state rep, and Joe Stagney right in Kenner. I mean, we're
Right.
all dealing with
And
the same
Debbie
issue.
Villiers
And
right
Debbie
up the
Villiers,
road.
right.
So,
Yes, sir.
Gary Smith is right on our western
right.
border, and he's a huge help. He's on the insurance committee with me. So, we're working hard. We're getting it done.
My biggest thing, and I think that you've taught me this through our relationship, don't be scared. Get out, go
Right.
ask the question. Get out there and be heard, be seen, because it's literally like it's the most important thing that you can honestly
Right.
do.
Like you, half the time I'm just calling people, putting them on the right people and cut through the red tape. I mean, my office is right here on Jefferson Highway. Our number is 504-736-7299. If y'all have a problem with anything, even federal, my assistant, Tia Russell, knows everybody in Social
Yeah,
Security,
right.
knows everybody. We deal more with Social Security and passports, which is all federal, than anything else, so it's, we're kind of a one-stop shop, but just like y'all are.
And she
so.
is incredible, brother.
She is.
Yes.
She is. So thank y'all. And
Thank you.
I'll turn it over to.
Before you go, and it's on a slightly different topic,
Yeah.
but I know it's near and dear to your insurance-minded activities. Is there any consideration to raising the minimum liability coverage requirement?
That's one of our biggest problems. So we have we don't have a large amount of people that don't have insurance, believe it or not. We have an unusually large amount of people that have the minimum insurance. And until, we're working hard to get rates down, but until we can get the rates down, if we raise the minimums, we're going to push a whole group of people out of the insurance market because they're barely hanging on now. But that is the real key, is we've got to raise that
The
minimum.
minimum's $15,000.
Right, we
And if
need to-
somebody is hurt.
Right.
A day in the hospital is $30,000.
Right, we need to raise that, but we got to stabilize and get these prices
And then the
down.
other thing is to
do
figure
it.
out what you can do to reduce the number of uninsured motorists.
Right.
That's a big cause, I believe, of why our insurance
It's a
policies
factor.
are so high.
It's certainly
so
a factor.
expensive.
Right.
And, it doesn't seem like there's any significant disincentives to driving without insurance.
Right, right. There's too many of them, for sure.
Right.
So,
Well, I know you spend a lot of time working on insurance for us.
and that's an ongoing crusade. That's we passed a watered-down version of my bill that got vetoed 2 years ago, and it's that's kind of coming online now. So hopefully we'll see the fruits of that labor in the next year or two. But I mean, this is an ongoing thing. I've got 2 tort reform bills that are I filed this year, so really 3. So it's an ongoing thing.
And it
So
really-
currently, you have to file suit within a year, and you were trying to make it 2 years?
Yeah,
That
we're
was
one of
vetoed?
only 2 states that has a 1 year. And why that's significant is if you and I get in a wreck and, I caused you bodily harm, we're trying to work out a settlement, you're still figuring out what your medical issues are and all that. If you come up on that year anniversary, you've got to file suit or give it up. Every other state is 2 years or more. So, look, anytime we can prevent lawsuits being filed, we're all better off. When more lawsuits get filed, your rates are going up because lawyers on both sides are going to start cranking up the bill. So it passed the Senate. It's got a very, very difficult road on the other side, but but we got some things we're going to try to work on to try to see if we can get that moving.
Thank
But that's a piece, there's no silver bullet, but that's certainly a piece of it,
Thank you.
so.
Appreciate
Thanks,
all your
Kurt.
effort.
Yeah,
sir.
thank you.
Yes, sir.
And I'll turn it over to my former colleague, Treasurer John Schroeder.
I'm glad I'm not on the insurance committee. Kurt told me, look, if you come talk to the Harahan Council, he'll take me to get a lucky dog after. So I didn't get to eat any crawfish. We're in town for a couple different things. So the last time I was here, it's a little different looking since the last time I was here, a little quieter also.
Yes, sir.
But look, let me just say this, listening to you guys, I've never met somebody as enthusiastic next to me for the job he has in y'all's mayor. And the dude, on a per capita basis, they probably get the biggest bang for their buck out of this guy than anybody that I see in Baton Rouge. Because I'm serious, I see him more than my wife in Baton Rouge. So congratulations, y'all do a great job. And I haven't been here since, I think, the new council and the new mayor. Although I've been to the city and we've met a few times, but I haven't been to the meeting. So congratulations from a couple years ago. And if we can help you with anything, sort of out of sight, out of mind is a good thing. Obviously, there's a lot of money floating around, which we've talked about before, and I'm the chairman of the State Bond Commission, and just talk to Talbot, and he'll help you.
You got it.
So
Well,
anyway,
thank
good
you.
to see y'all. Since we're on TV, we run the Unclaimed Property Program. We were named the National Unclaimed Property Program of the Year for last year. For unbelievable returns, we increased by 632% over a 3-year period. So the city, all the municipalities, everybody has money in this system. And I promise you, somebody either listening or watching, or somebody sitting in this council chambers today has money in this program. And if not, your parents do, your aunts do. There's a lot of elderly people, Chief, that has money in this thing. You ought to check into it.
So I think you came and did something at the senior center, and one of our residents at the time had like $9,000.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Look, we
Total
just
shock.
had a homeless guy. Unfortunately, he just passed away, but I tell the story. He had a $258,000 CD lost in the program for 18 years. But with technology's help, you can't run and hide anymore, let's face it. With those phones, my phone knows that I'm fixing to leave here and go home. I don't even know that yet, but my phone does. So, you can't run and hide anymore. So we're finding a lot more people. We went from doing 77,000 claims, think about this now, over a 3-year period under the previous treasurer, to over 500,000 in the next 3 years.
Jesus.
And it's because of technology, you can't run and hide anymore. The good thing is we can find you and give you money. It is by far the absolute best job in state government, because I get to play Santa Claus every day.
Yeah.
So nice seeing you guys. If we can be some help, I don't handle taxes, which I tell people all the time. Like the senator said, 95% of my phone calls are about taxes. I give away money and give back money. I don't take it.
Yeah.
So y'all enjoy. Happy Easter.
Thank you. Happy Easter. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your recognition, Councilman Asbill. And we get a state treasurer to come down and,
Yeah, it's
and be
pretty
a part
cool.
of our audience. Tell me how cool that is, huh?
Pretty cool.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, Madam Clerk.
Proposed ordinance number 2022-3. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Chatelain and seconded by Councilman,
Second.
who wants? Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 1925, the annual budget of revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022 for the Capital Project Fund of the City of Harahan, Louisiana for Fletcher Field renovation.
Okay, we'll now open for public hearing. Anyone wanting to speak on proposed ordinance 2022-3? No one coming to speak forth. We'll now close public hearing. Council discussion?
So, oh, sorry.
So I believe this ordinance, I put it in place just to renovate that field so we can get some ball going, baseball going at the playground. This money could come readily available and replaced when we get some FEMA funds back. This field was damaged from the storm, light poles fell on the field. We had to get the field back up and running. That's why I asked for this money here to go to that field to get it get the kids back at to get the kids back at the playground.
And some renovation has been done there. You want to talk about it a little bit?
They cleaned up the field. They have it ready for the young boys and girls. I mean, it's not the large fields we want, but it's the field we have. The older kids in practice on it. The younger kids are going to play t-ball. And I believe up to 7 and 8 might go on that field, just to try to get the kids back at the playground.
So is there any reason that we can't make this part of our FEMA claim, or do we intend to make it part of our FEMA claim?
Oh, we are making it a part of
Oh,
the claim.
okay.
We want to get these funds available so we can get it fixed or repaired right now to get the
I
kids back.
understand,
at the
thank
play.
you.
And,
Yeah.
and we, Mr. Buddy, we actually, Councilman Buddy, we actually had some residents go out and donate some grass, and then I've also been working with the playground directors, as Councilman Chatelain, Councilman Asbill. We're making sure the soil's good. We're pulling all of the shells out of, they're working the soil. It's just a clean little field, just to try to get, some life back on the playground as we start to progress into figuring out what the future of the playground is.
So as of now, we'll have 2 baseball fields working. We still have the middle area where the kids are practicing. I think the batting cage has been repaired. So we're moving forward as fast as we can. We're waiting on FEMA to give us a couple answers to get things started on that big field. I mean, I know citizens are saying nothing's getting, we want it done just as bad as everyone else. But we want to also make sure we do it right to where we get the funds back for the city.
That's right. We want to make sure we put it together the right way. We don't want, we have a unique opportunity to not have to slap a Band-Aid on a situation. We have a unique opportunity to put some really nice fields there that can stand the test of time. And though I know citizens want, answers now and they want to see movement now, I think that we just dial it back 1 second, let FEMA do their job, and we come in and we try to give the city of Harahan the best product that we possibly can, because I think the city deserves it after all we've been through. And I really want to recognize you. Thank you, Councilman Chatelain and Councilman Asbill.
I want the playground open more than anybody else. I mean, my son's in his older years. I mean, he's only got a year left there, and I mean, he's not going to have it. So,
Christy Perry.
I promise you I want it as much as
Thank
anyone
you,
else.
Vice President Christy Perry of the HAA, she's been incredible, and she's been on my case about getting things moved forward, so I really appreciate it.
Move to
You guys are
approve.
awesome. So we have a motion by Councilman Asbill and second by Councilman Chatelain to approve. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Ordinance is approved. Madam Clerk?
Ordinances for introduction. Proposed ordinance number 2022-4. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Asbill. An ordinance approving the conditional re-subdivision plat of Lot A-2B-1B, Soniat or Chapatoulas Plantation Subdivision, City of Harahan, Parish of Jefferson, State of Louisiana, into Lot A-2B-1C, Soniat or Chapatoulas Plantation Subdivision, and lots 24 through 27, Colonial Place, Phase 1, all pursuant to a plan made by Ronald Clement, PLS, dated February 11th, 2022. Proposed ordinance number 2022-5. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman
Budget sponsored.
Councilman Wheeler?
Wheeler. An ordinance amending ordinance number 1925, the annual budget of revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2022, for the Capital Project Fund of the City of Harahan, Louisiana, for a city vehicle. Proposed ordinance number 2022-7. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Asbill. An ordinance providing for the levy within the City of Harahan, State of Louisiana, of a 0.8% sales and use tax upon the sale at retail, the use, the lease or rental, the consumption, and the storage for use or consumption of tangible personal property, and upon the sale of service in said city for the assessment, collection, payment thereof, and the dedication of the proceeds of said tax, and the purpose for which the proceeds of the tax may be expended, said tax having been authorized at a special election held in the city on March 26th, 2022. I need water after that. Proposed ordinance number 2022-6. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Asbill. An ordinance approving the final re-subdivision plat of Lot A-2B-1C, Stoniat or Chapatoulas Plantation subdivision, City of Harahan, Parish of Jefferson, State of Louisiana, pursuant to a plan made by Ronald Clement, PLS, dated March 18th, 2022. Old business number 1, Board of Adjustment dismissal and appointments.
Council? Y'all have any appointments on?
I would like to nominate Dale Valise to serve on the Civil Service Board.
We're on
Board of
Oh, I'm
Adjustment.
sorry. Sorry.
So citizens, we are really, we need some help. Board of Adjustments and Appeals, we need some people to get involved. So we have a lot of people that are looking to step off the board at the moment, and so we need some new citizen involvement. So if you're interested, please contact any one of us, and you can even contact Police Chief Tim Walker, but that we're so desperate to get someone to help and get involved in. The city needs your involvement, so please get involved.
So one of the problems, is if you want to get involved and you want to volunteer, you got to realize it does take time. I mean, we have all these people say, we want to be on a board, and they don't show up for the meetings. I mean, it doesn't help us. You know, if you want to be on a board, you need to be willing to show up to the meetings. I mean, that's our issue. I mean, and we respect and we understand people don't have time. But if you want to volunteer your time, we'd appreciate it, but we need you to commit your time. I mean, a lot of people say, we want to be on a board, and they show up to one meeting and they miss them for 3. Doesn't really help us a lot.
And this is a big board, you know, this is, these decisions are made, this is, you know, any turning, you overturning one of these decisions, it's going to the 24 JDC. So this is a very powerful board. This is the board where people come to and they want something that actually doesn't fit in the law. And so it's actually heard by the adjustments in order to figure out if we can actually fit it in and make it work. So it's really a powerful board. It's really a great asset to any resume, so we'd love to have you involved. Madam Clerk?
Before we move on, I know we looked at some of these requirements recently, and I'm wondering if the council doesn't need to consider loosening some of the requirements. Don't these folks have to be licensed contractors, engineers? Makes it doubly hard in a limited pool, to get people to sit in. So it's just something we may want to think about.
I agree 1,000,000%. I'd just be happy if it was citizens. 1,000,000% agree.
Or, reduce some of the positions down to folks that aren't necessarily construction
I mean,
related or
people care about what's in
professionals.
their neighborhood. If you're going to care to get on a board, you're going to care about what's in your neighborhood, and you're going to do the work. So I agree with you, Mr. Tom. Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Old business number 2, Civil Service Board administrative appointment.
That's you.
Okay, Tom?
I would like to nominate
Councilman Butler.
Dale Valise. He has served previously on planning and zoning for quite a few years, and he's extremely diligent, made the meetings, did the work, is a very thoughtful individual, and I think most of the councilmen know him, and the mayor. So that's my nomination.
I wish I can second it, but can I get a second? Second by Councilman Wheeler to nominate Dale Velez to the Civil Service Board of Administrative Appointment. He will be Harahan's representative on that board. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
Are you going to open for public hearing real fast? Anyone coming to speak forth? No one coming to speak forth? We'll now close public hearing. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Congratulations, Mr. Dale. You
Thank
are the
you, Dale.
man. Madam Clerk?
New business number 1, Todd Turnion.
Maybe get back to Todd.
Shall I go on to number 2? New business number 2,
Go back around. Yeah, circle back.
William Lark respectfully requests permission that Berg Street between Elaine and Ravan be blocked starting Friday, May 6th, 2022 at 4 p.m. until Saturday, May 7th, 2022 at 11 p.m. due to the St. Rita Fall Festival. He will notify neighbors that may be affected during this closure.
Can we deny this? Can we deny this? No, I'm just messing. Okay, we'll now open for public hearing. Anyone want to speak on new business number 2? Closing of the street Friday, May 6th. This is for the Impromptu St. Rita Fall Festival. No one comes to speak forth. We'll now close public hearing. Council discussion.
I just
I'm
need to
just
make
curious what the reasoning is. He I'm sure it's a good reason, but he omitted that in his request. Is anybody?
I think usually it's where they stage the kids before they go up on stage or something like that, isn't part of it?
Problem.
Oh, so that section of Berg between Ray-Ban and Imperial is where the kids and the stage and stuff. This section, we actually reached out to the chief several years ago. It kind of diverts traffic another block, a little bit further away, because also, and I'll be honest, this is my street, and I'm not voting for this.
How many people live on this street?
One street, one person, and it's me. We've noticed over the years since we've been there, and we discussed this with the chief, is that this is where like all the traffic from workers, from ice trucks to everything. So when I approached the chief, I said, is there a way we could just push the traffic like another block down? And because it's just really congested right there. And I think chief
Can't make the
agreed,
turns
and
and stuff when they coming out.
Right.
so yeah.
Make an amendment and also do Ray-Ban to Imperial Woods.
That's already voted on.
That's already been approved. That was
Yeah.
approved last month.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's for
Yeah.
the kids with the stage and all that. This would be from Ray-Ban to Elaine.
Thank you.
Okay. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
Abstain.
4 yeas, 1 abstention. It is approved.
Can't vote for my
I thought about
street.
voting no.
Madam Clerk.
Say it.
New business,
much.
number 1, Todd Turnion, Finance Director, monthly financials with budget to actual
Todd, we
comparison.
want nothing but good news tonight, okay? Nothing but
He's
good
got
news.
good news.
All right.
Sweet
Good
mercy.
evening, citizens, council, mayor. So just a brief update from the finance team. So the sales tax amounts continue to come in strong through March 2022. I was expecting the sales tax numbers for April today, but we didn't get the information, so I presume tomorrow or Monday, we'll get the sales tax numbers for the month of April, or that we receive in April for the prior month. But they continue to come in strong and look good for the city. We are working on closing out March 2022 with the meeting pushed up a week. So we're still kind of working through closing out March 2022. And then we are also working on the year-end financial statement audit. That process has gotten started over the last 2 to 3 weeks. We've been providing information electronically with them, working with them. They will be on site next week to work with the city team and do some of the detailed testing that they need to do during the course of that engagement. So that's where we are from the finance team. I'm happy to answer any questions that the council members may have.
Good. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
New business number 3, I have a letter from Chief Tim Walker. Please be advised of the results of the recent election for the employee representative to the Civil Service Board. Sergeant David Darwin was one of 3 nominees and won the election held on April 13th, 2022.
Bless you.
And we have to vote on this, or just
I think it's just acknowledged.
just acknowledgement, or?
Okay, so we're now
Okay.
open for public hearing. No one coming to speak forth. We'll now close public hearing, council discussion.
Chief, do you have kind of the vote count on how the vote went down or anything like that, the process? Because I don't know how this happens.
We found with civil service rules to have an election, a previous member of the board, of the civil service board, resigned. So it gave a vacancy for our police department representative on civil service. So we followed civil service rules to have an election. Any individual that wanted to run nominated themselves. We had 3 individuals, and the election was held the last 2 days.
And
Per
who-
their procedure, and the outcome was Sergeant Darwin won the election.
Is it like by ballot?
Yes. Yes,
Do you have like a vote count or something?
not handy.
You want to represent that before you?
Look, I don't know the process. I'd have to talk to the civil service attorney to make sure that we actually have to make this appointment, because I don't, to me, if it's a department voted thing, we shouldn't have to make any kind of appointment. We just
I'm the
acknowledge.
person, you know, we have to confirm it in order us to him to be on the board, the next meeting will even made.
Right, but I don't know that, and so I'll
Okay.
tell you that I'm not voting on it. If you want to call for the vote, you can, but I would vote that I would move to defer till next month.
Can we ask the city attorney his opinion?
I just got it today, I haven't looked into it, so there's a statute.
Can we take a 5-minute recess and try to reach out to Keith Credo?
You have a civil service meeting before May 21st?
I'm sorry.
You have a civil service meeting scheduled before May
I think there's one
21st?
in May.
I'll move to defer till the May meeting.
I'll second it.
You want to go recess it and look?
Nope.
Well,
I think we make this appointment. Let's go recess it and look for a second. We have a motion on the floor by Councilman Wheeler, second by Councilman Chatelain for a 5-minute recess. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0
Yay.
nays. We recess for 5 minutes. Thank you.
Sounds expensive.
that was important. That was important.
All right.
Tying those two down.
Right now is, do we have to vote on David Dalton's nomination to the Civil Service Board? From what I'm understanding, it is a yes?
No.
So it is a no.
All right, which one is it?
So yes.
So we don't need the city attorney.
City attorney, if you want to talk to us real quick.
accept it now.
Correct.
We don't vote on it.
We just acknowledge it.
We have to accept it, which is a vote.
We have to accept.
Yeah.
it. That's interesting.
Which is a vote. yeah.
I'm not
But
voting.
whether we do or not, he's still
Well,
appointed.
yeah,
Is
don't
that
vote.
correct? So
All
we're
right,
just-
move to defer. If we can't figure it out tonight in a recess, then we're going to move it to deferral.
So we have a motion on the floor by Councilman Asbill to defer. Second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
Nay.
Nay,
Is that yeas, that one nay, 4 yeas?
2 nays.
2 nays? 3 yeas?
Address the council.
All right, anyone want to come forward and address the council? Please do so. Come on, get up. Chairman of Planning and Zoning. We enjoy having you come here. You know, believe it or not, through all my tenure, this is the first time ever really the chairman of Planning and Zoning has actually come up and been such a part like you had. So thank you for that. It was really, you know, it's really great. I love it.
Well, sorry, I tried to get here as quickly as I could. I had a previous engagement. But, I think it was, y'all had already passed the ordinance, right, the ordinance?
Yes, sir.
The rezone. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of touch on it, but, it wasn't about just making that street wider, but just making that corner a little bit wider. I know this is conditional, but obviously we have the second vote when Danny comes up with his plans for it, but I'm glad that passed. Another thing I just wanted to comment on is, something the chief touched on about the mail service. We have another property up in Gonzales, and we manage the association, the condo association up there, and just like what the chief has mentioned, our association's bank account was compromised, and how it was compromised, someone tried to write a check, a large check off of this account, and they couldn't because it was fake. But what they did is they took the jaws of life to those, the boxes that sit outside, still all the mail. So I know it's happened here and it's happening elsewhere, so it doesn't affect us directly, but obviously it can affect us indirectly because you have to close accounts, reopen them, and just go the whole rigmarole of
A lot of work.
yeah, it's more work on you than it is on the criminal to make a fake check and close accounts, and you have thousands of dollars of checks that you have to pay people. So, just kind of bring the mail inside the post office, not dropping it in the mailboxes.
And just so you know, we've had to have a couple of property taxes. I mean, it's been, I want to think over 10 so far that they've had this same thing happen where their checks just went missing. But you're exactly right, Chief, and his, department's report, bring that mail inside. And Chief, I think, actually reported a month ago that, those keys just kind of get distributed and no one ever recalls them back. And sometimes they just give into the wrong hands of where they shouldn't be. But yeah, it has happened here in Harahan, so.
Yeah, just be on the lookout.
That's right.
People
Bring it inside.
bring it inside and into the post office, because it's been a hassle a whole week having to deal with
Yes.
opening up new accounts for the condo association that we're part of up in Gonzales.
Thank you.
Thank you.
for spending time with us.
Secretary's report. Secretary's report for March 2022, total revenues, $505,502. Reports.
Stats for the month of March 2022. We had 755 calls for service, 16 accidents we handled, 122 citations for 189 violations, and 5 patrol requests. The rest for the month were 13, 19 were narcotics charges, 10 of them with felony, 3 misdemeanor, and 6 city charges. Other arrests were 59 for 141 different charges, 21 felonies, 62 misdemeanors, 13 city charges, and 45 traffic. Person and property crimes for the month: no murders, no rapes, no robberies, no residential burglaries, no non-residential burglaries, no attempted burglaries. We had 1 motor vehicle theft, no attempted motor vehicle theft, 2 larceny thefts, and non-assaults for the month.
Chief St. Cyr is absent. Councilman Asbill?
Tax day is next Monday. Make sure you get that done. Happy Easter.
In the same sentence, you say.
Councilman Buddy?
Well, I'd like to thank the chief and all the members of the HPD for the job you do keeping us safe. We live in a safe community, citizens are involved, we're blessed in many respects, but our folks on the street do a good job of looking out for us, year after year after year, so thank you. And happy Easter.
Councilman Chatelain?
Happy Easter. And like I said, I know people upset about what's going on at the playground. We're moving. We're trying to get it going. I'll put a little more heat on them and see if we can move a little faster. And I appreciate what everybody does to move the city forward. We're getting real close on Wilson. I know a lot of us want that done. Trust me, I live right there on Colonial. My car's dirty every day. We want it done as much as everyone else, but they're doing a beautiful job. If y'all notice something out there that doesn't look like it's to par, let us know. We'll address it before they leave. But the guys are working great with us, and we appreciate it. We appreciate Kelly with Blue Flash helping us with that whole project.
Absolutely.
So if y'all see something out there that needs to be addressed, let's get it addressed before they leave. Thank you.
And Fleming's done an amazing job. Councilman Johnson?
Happy Easter.
Councilman Wheeler? For me, just real simple, I want to give a kudos out to the Code Enforcement Department. We are really working hard this year on blight. It is the topic of the year. We'll be, is cleaning up blight, cleaning up our city. We have a beautiful city. We have a real unique window in time right now to clean up and really make a statement to let everybody know how great our city is. And I have two ladies and a gentleman, Cherise and John, that do a wonderful job. So respect us, respect your city, respect your neighbors, clean up your property, because if you don't, we're gonna, and it's not gonna be a good day for you. So we really appreciate it. Happy Easter to everyone. I'm very proud to be a Harahanian today. I'm very proud that Treasurer John Schroeder actually attends our council meeting, and that's incredible. Of course, Senator Talbot and State Representative John Ilg are incredible as well. So thank you. Happy Easter. Madam Clerk, pay the bills.
Pay bills. Bills paid in March 2022, total expenditures $682,288.99. No executive session, adjourn.
Do you have a motion to adjourn? We have a motion by
Motion.
Councilman Buddy, second by Councilman Asbill. All in favor?
Yay.
We are adjourned, 5 yeas, 0 nays.